So it's really in Black excellence when we tap into our magic.
But humility is one of the most important qualities which you must have.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have an amazing gift inside you that I want to see exploded onto the world. Now, I started the Black Excellence series because I believe that you can support one community without putting another one down. And so the intent with this series is to highlight excellence in the Black community. I also want to give a quick shout out to Devon Trish. Thank you so much for your help in sourcing some of the clips that we're using in this video. Enjoy. All right, let's kick it off with number one, Tap Into Your Excellence with Sean Combs.
Within business, I mean, especially being Black can be, a barrier to entry, barrier to moving forward. And you said, I wasn't allowing them to treat me like a Black man. And how do you do that?
You have to be able to walk away. There's a lot of cats out here that get a taste of the money, and when it comes time to doing that deal and really being in that ruthless negotiation, they really can't stomach walking away. I'm really, really crazy. I will walk away. We could be at 43 million. If I want 45 and I'm just deserving of that, and that is the rate, you're gonna give me 45 million.
If we could hear the voice inside you, is the voice yelling at you like you can do it and positive, or is it like you ain't done enough and pushing you to go further higher? Like what is the voice saying to you?
You the baddest that he ever built. You a king, put it on him, king. Get him, Puff, get him. Come up, yeah, win for the people. It's for the kids. Let's do it, Black excellence, let's go. So it's really in Black excellence when we tap into our magic. So when you see those things, when you see Oprah and she's doing her thing, or you see all these kids online and they're crafting their art as comedians, or you watch Dave Chappelle, or you looking at our brilliant minds right now that are going and being engineers and scientists and doctors, and it's really changing the narrative. Because if you just constantly get negativity, this is the image about you. You born a slave, you was this is the way it looks, and then we get a couple of things like the Cosby Show, Oprah, Puff Bad Boy, a couple of wins and things like that. But, we gotta promote our greatness, because the things that we have to deal with get so promoted, overly promoted and marketed to us. I have to be a part of the change. I gotta be a part of the narrative. I'm entering the psychological warfare to hit y'all with different images to reset your mind so we can elevate.
Rule number two, have humility with Nelson Mandela.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. And one of the most important weapons in changing yourself is to recognize that people everywhere in the world want peace. But humility is one of the most important qualities which you must have. Because if you are humble, if you make people realize that you are no threat to them, then people will embrace you.
Rule number three, spark a change with Tupac Shakur.
All the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.
Rule number 4, you can do anything with Kanye West.
We got this new thing called classism. It's racism's cousin. This is what we do to hold people back. This is what we do. And we got this other thing that's also been working for a long time where you don't have to be racist anymore. It's called self-hate. It works on itself. It's like real estate of racism. Where just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. I just told you. That's who I think I am. Would it have been better if I had a song that said, I am a nigga? Or if I had a song that said, I'm a gangster? Or if I had a song that said, I am a pimp? All those colors and patinas fit better on a person like me, right? But to say you are a god, especially when you got shipped over to the country that you're in and your last name is a slave owner's. How could you say that? How could you have that mentality?
I mean, I know in the past you've talked about, like, you know, building hotels, doing things that are beyond people's normal frame of reference.
Yeah.
They know you as Kanye West, an artist. They know that you're moving into fashion. But these things, I guess, in a way, are hard for people to comprehend because they don't have that level of drive. Do you know what I mean? Has it always been like this for you? Have you always felt like you can set your mind to anything and you will achieve it ultimately?
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything. And I'm Kanye West at age 36. So just watch the next 10 years.
Rule number 5, make no excuses with Eric Thomas.
I ate out of trash cans. I had no business eating out of trash cans. I lived in abandoned buildings. I had no business living in abandoned buildings. But E.T., your daddy wasn't in your life. Your mom was a teenage mother. You grew up, come on, E, look at your shirt. That's not an excuse. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. I told you, I didn't get a new daddy. I didn't get a new mama. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day. I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim.
Rule number 6, know your self-worth with Robert F. Smith.
Did you go straight to Wall Street after college?
No, I worked for about 6 years in applied research and development. You know, one of the joys of being a chemical engineer is, we talk about becoming the modern day alchemist. You learn how to create things, you know, transform matter from one form to another. And that's what was important to me. I wanted to be an inventor. And so I worked for about 6 years in applied research and development, got a chance to, you know, travel all over the world with big companies like, you know, Kraft Journal Foods and Air Products and Chemicals, solving some very complex problems. And with using, you know, my engineering skill set. And I loved it, absolutely loved it, until one day I was sitting there with the head of my division and the head of marketing, the head of sales, head of development for, you know, it's a small division, but then, you know, Philip Morris, because it's part of Kraft. And I realized when we went through our 6 most important strategic priorities, I was leading 5 of them. I was half the age of everybody in the room, and I know I was making a third of everybody in the room. And I said, I'm either doing something very right or very wrong. And it was a bit of both, right? And so this kind of that lesson of the realization of worth and self-worth, right? I said, you know what? This is a great experience. I'm having fun. I got 3 promotions in like 18 months because I was doing all these great and wonderful things. But then I realized there's probably something else out there.
And rule number 7, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is demand respect with Oprah Winfrey.
When I first started as a broadcaster, I was 19, very insecure, thrown into television, pretending to be Barbara Walters, looking nothing like her, and still going to college. So I do all my classes in the morning from 8 to 1, and then in the afternoon I work from 2 to 10 and did the 6 o'clock news. And would stay up and study and all that stuff, until 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then just start the routine all over again. And my classmates were so jealous of me that I remember taking my little $115 paycheck, and at the time I thought it was really a lot, but taking $115 and trying to appease them. I would anytime anybody needed money, I was always offering, oh, you need $10, or taking them out for pizza, ordering pizza for the class and things like that. That whole disease to please, that's where it was the worst for me, I think, because I wanted to be accepted by them and could not be. Because first of all, I didn't have the time. They wanted me to pledge, and I didn't have the time to pledge. I didn't have the time to be a part of all the other college activities or a part of that whole lifestyle. And it was very difficult for me socially, really one of the worst times of my life, because I was trying to fit in school and be a part of that culture, but also trying to build a career in television. It's very difficult for me to even see myself as successful, because I still see myself as in the process of becoming successful. To me, successful is getting to the point where you are absolutely comfortable with yourself, and it does not matter how many things you have acquired. The ability to learn to say no and not to feel guilty about it, to me, is about the greatest success I have achieved. The fact that I have, in the public side, done whatever is fine. It's all a part of a process for growing for me. But to me, to have the kind of internal strength and internal courage it takes to say, no, I will not let you treat me this way, is what success is all about. It's the same thing that prevents you from being abused as a child, that prevents you from being abused as an adult, that allows you to build success for yourself. I will not be treated this way. I demand only the best for myself. You are worthy to say no. That it's okay if you say no. It's okay if you say no and then people don't like you. That's really okay. The important thing is how you feel about what you're doing, how you feel about yourself. It's a long struggle, though. It's a long struggle. And I'm just hoping that, in the work that I do on the show and the speaking that I do around the country, and that young people who are watching this can get the lesson sooner than I did. Because it's painful, because you keep repeating it over and over and over until you get it right. And what I found is that every time you have to repeat the lesson, it gets worse. Because I call it God trying to get your attention, the universe trying to get your attention. So we didn't get your attention the first time, so we're going to have to hit you a little harder this time. So I'm still doing it. I'm still learning.
What's up, Believe Nation? This is Devon Trish, and I just want to leave you guys with one thing. Our most valuable luxury in this life is time. As far as a job, say you lose your job, you can always get another job. You can always make more money. You can always buy more stuff. You can always travel. You can always do these things, but time is something that we cannot buy. We cannot go and purchase more time and say, I need another year. I need another week. So what I want to do, I just want to encourage everybody out there to, each day when you wake up with so much fire and passion for your goal and for your dreams that you want to chase them each and every day. Jump up with so much strength and courage and power, and just know that your dream and your purpose is important. And it's important to this world. It's important to this planet. It's important to each of us because we're all connected. So be encouraged and always remember to believe.
Now I've got a very special clip from Joe Rogan that I think you're going to enjoy as a bonus. But before that, I want to know, what did you think of this series? Should I continue it or not? Any feedback on how to improve it for the next version? Please let me know. Leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you soon, and enjoy the bonus clip.
There's places where racism exists, and I think when you have young kids that are raised with racism and family members that are raised with racism in a community that embraces racism, which has existed in the past, we don't even have to talk about today, but in the past there was most certainly really racist neighborhoods, Italian neighborhoods in New York where if black people moved in, they were treated terribly and horrible shit happened, and a lot of times they weren't even allowed to move in the first place. There's always been stuff like that. So if there's always been stuff like that, it's a natural human inclination that we have to iron out. We can't just eliminate it by making it illegal or eliminate it by prosecuting people. We have to figure out why people think like that. It's a scary way to think. Scary way to think that any one look, first of all of us, and almost anyone listening to this, in comparison to someone like Elon Musk, is basically a chimp. Okay? So you want to be racist, you should be racist against this African guy that's smarter than everybody. Like, that's a real African guy from South Africa.
Elon Musk?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a real African American.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. But obviously, there's a difference between black, African, and I believe it was the Dutch that originally settled that area. You know, and he's the descendants of those people. But my point is, like, we're all dumbasses compared to that guy. So stop getting all uppity about white people, you know, having better GPAs than whatever other race you're comparing us to. Because you're stupid compared to that one African dude. Like, you're dumb. For sure. For sure, like, there's no way your vote should count more than his. This idea that there's one race is better than the other race is f***ing stupid. The people that are really clinging to it usually don't have shit going on other than that. That's the problem with racism. It puts people in a camp of winners when they really don't have to do shit to get into the team.
So let me give you the one-word secret to happiness. One word. This is all you need to be happy.
The most important word ever.
If you had to think of one word that's most important to you, or that sums you up, or that would be kind of like a little beacon.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to know what the most important one word is for Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah Winfrey, will.i.am, and Howard Schultz, I have a very special secret video for you. Check the description for details.